Madam President, the Security Council should no doubt reflect contemporary global realities. The most significant changes in global realities is the emergence of a UN membership now composed by 193 mostly small and medium-sized states. They need to be equitably represented through the expansion of the Security Council. Adding new permanent members would numerically reduce the opportunities for the vast majority of the United Nations member states to be represented on the Security Council. We must adhere to the principle of sovereign equality of all, not the superiority of some. Surely we all believe that a further democratization of the United Nations, a further democratization of the UN Security Council, of the UN General Assembly, is what would empower this institution, would provide it with the moral authority to act. It does not serve the purposes of the United Nations to add more members to this elitist club, to expand the power of the tyrannical veto. It would serve this institution to further democratize, to allow for the principle of the sovereign equality of all and not the superiority of some. In the past, the Security Council has been unable to act due to differences among its permanent members. Adding new permanent members would multiply the possibility of paralysis of the Security Council. The problem cannot be the solution, and surely states which have a record of not implementing the resolutions of this very Security Council cannot be considered worthy of consideration for any form of Council membership. The proposal of the Uniting for Consensus group to create 11 additional non-permanent elected seats to the Council offers the most realistic option for an equitable and early reform of the Security Council. The UFC model would provide equitable representation to all member states and regions, including Africa. Periodic elections would enhance the accountability of the Security Council members. It would numerically and politically expand the influence and role of elected members in relation to the existing 5 permanent members. It would preserve the principle of sovereign equality. Madam President, all our endeavors to promote world order, peace, and stability will come to naught unless we can realize the Charter's second objective, universal social economic development. As a result of the COVID pandemic, raging conflicts, and the more frequent and ferocious impacts of climate change, nearly 100 developing countries are in extreme economic distress. Pakistan has convened a ministerial conference of the Group of 77 in China tomorrow and day after to adopt a plan for emergency action and systematic reform in the international financial, trade, and technology architectures to ease the suffering of 1 billion people in the global south and realize the sustainable development goals and environmental objectives. Finally, Madam President, in your concept note, you call on us to advise and suggest and ways and means to move the multilateralism reform agenda forward. There is an agenda item left unaddressed, Madam President, that we believe is a multilateral agenda, that is an agenda of this UN Security Council. If we want to see the success of multilateral institutions, the success of multilateralism, the success of this very council, then surely you can aid in this process and allow for the implementation of UN Security Council resolutions when it comes to the question of Kashmir. Prove that multilateralism can succeed. Prove that the United Nations Security Council under your worthy presidency can succeed and deliver peace in our region. I thank you.